A local preschool focuses on children who have been severely abused and neglected. And right now, nearly half of its students have been exposed to a parent's substance abuse. The heroin epidemic is creating a bigger demand for counseling and treatment of these tiny victims. And the Therapeutic Interagency Preschool, or TIP, is changing lives.
Where do you want your castle?
Brad Tussey thought he had the perfect home with mom and dad and a smart little boy.
Batman.
But then Brad started noticing things going missing.
Lots of lies.
His son's scooter, his TV.
It started out with alcohol. She had a mental illness, and it manifested into heroin.
The heroin epidemic hit the small family like a train barreling down the tracks.
Choo choo. You have a job, you have a life, you have a two-parent household, and the very next day it's just you and your son.
Brad's little boy was just 4 when he saw his mother taken away in an ambulance.
And if a parent is overdosing and the child is there, they experience tremendous crisis.
Dr. Daniel Nelson says children of the heroin crisis often end up with post-traumatic stress disorder. He treats these tiny victims at the Therapeutic Interagency Preschool, or TIP, at Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
Well, it's good to be gentle with babies and learn how to take care of people, isn't it?
TIP is funded through several sources, and it's a place where young children can get preschool education alongside treatment. These young victims may need psychiatric treatment, occupational therapy, and help with speech and language development.
Beep, beep.
We really focus on language skills, which are essential for them to do the trauma treatment. One aspect of that is the child learning how to cope with the stresses they felt. And then also how to tell a trauma narrative, how they can tell their story.
Brad's son couldn't speak at all after his trauma until he and his father both got help at TIP. Brad says it took 5 months for his son to open up.
And once he opened up, he released all of his anger, his emotions. He cried. We both cried. And, you know, that was the breaking point of him succeeding.
Doctors here say early intervention is key to help children process their anger, loss, even guilt, and also learn where to look for nurturing role models.
And this is at a time in the child's development where their relationship with adults is really critical in terms of them knowing, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be cared for.
And Dr. Nelson says getting this type of help early can help children grow up less likely to need special classrooms or end up in the penal system.
Donkey. Oh, for Shrek.
You're funny.
Now Brad's son helps with chores. He loves to read and go to school. Life is different since TIP and since Brad fought for and won sole custody of his son.
The judge said, you're a devoted father and you've done a really good job. And to me, it was better than winning the lottery.
Now in control of his son's future, in the type of family they get to create together. There's a waiting list at TIP because space and funding barriers stand in the way of getting this type of help for more children. The good news is there's also a TIP program in Butler County, and the model's being copied in other states.